from the station you count on. In-depth, investigative coverage of today's biggest stories. This is KARK 4 News at 10 in high definition.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Bob Clausen.
And I'm Jessica Dean. It could soon be signed, sealed, and closed for some Arkansas postal facilities. In Garland County, the area mail processing center in Hot Springs being studied for consolidation with Little Rock's processing plant. It's one of among 5 in the state undergoing the same scrutiny. Tonight, KARK4's Marcy Manley at a meeting about this issue. She's joining us now with the details, and it's new at 10 tonight. Marcy, what do we know now?
Well, Jessica, I suppose the only hard information we have is that the center is being studied. There are projected savings, and that a lot of questions are left unanswered at this point, which is proving unsettling for those trying to plan for the future in Hot Springs.
None of this will matter because in a year or two, we won't be here.
The U.S. Postal Service relaying the hard reality of what the status quo could mean if it doesn't cut costs.
Losing rounded up to $9 billion a year, that's a large impact for any corporation.
In a town hall meeting, folks in Hot Springs presented with a study to consolidate the city's processing center with one in Little Rock, which would effectively do away with overnight delivery and possibly eliminate more than 30 jobs.
Can I help you, sir?
They're talking about a lot of people's lives.
Despite the Postal Service meeting's purpose to answer questions,
Are you saying that's not going to hold true?
And address concerns,
Little Rock does not have the capacity to run everything.
We're looking at everything you just mentioned.
a lot of folks are walking away still wondering what this all means. How many jobs will actually be affected?
They gave us a figure at Little Rock the other day that we were going to lose 17 jobs here.
It could be 1 or 20. I mean, I don't know.
Now they're saying 1 or the whole bunch or whatever. I want something concrete.
And how much money will actually be saved?
It could be $1 million, it may be $300,000, it could be $2 million.
Does it do much good if every answer to your question is, I don't know yet?
I think that's where you see the problem with the process, was we don't know.
According to District Manager David Camp, it's the nature of the consolidation study beast.
When will we know?
A not-so-exact science of operating on best estimates of financial impact for now.
Once the study's complete, we'll know hard numbers. Not a lot I can give. I hate not being able to give more at these type meetings.
I guess the way they're talking, it's going to be May the 15th.
Without hard and fast facts to make a decision,
we always try to create jobs instead of lose jobs.
At the end of the day, we're talking about real Arkansans and real Americans' lives.
there's a fear among many that money-saving decisions now will only end up costing the communities on the chopping block later. Now, the Postal Service is encouraging people to participate in a public comment period on the Hot Springs Processing Center, which goes through January 4th. You can find the information on how to do that on our website, arkansasmatters.com. Bob, back to you.
All right, Marcy, thanks very much. Tonight, the full Pulaski County Quorum Court took comments on the issue of the Maumelle Watershed Project and a proposed amendment. KARK spent some time this evening going over details of the entire project. Opponents of the project fear changes could restrict homeowners and threaten the ecosystem. Tonight, the Quorum Court heard discussion solely about an amendment which would limit the project to 7,000 structures.
We think that you can make this zoning code a good product, but we don't believe that's the way it is today. And we would certainly encourage you all to work with property owners.
The concern is that it may be arbitrary or capricious to set a 7,000 cap where there's no reasonable scientific basis to feel that that's necessary to protect the water. It could be protected and allow more development.
Comments?
The Quorum Court did not vote on this issue this evening, but we'll take it up again next year. Of course, we'll keep you updated on that. And tonight, the mission is officially over for the 77th Theater Aviation Brigade. They're all back home. The last brigade arrived this evening. The 77th completed a recent tour that began for some in February. For some, this is the end of a second tour in Iraq, and it came right on time.
It was awesome. I had 2 kids that had experienced it before, and then the youngest, he doesn't quite know what to expect yet. He's 3 now, so
it's going to be a big Christmas for the Keeter.
It's going to be a fantastic Christmas for the Keeter family.
Welcome home and Merry Christmas to all of you. In all, 125 members are back home.
Now to other headlines making news tonight. Are Kansans keeping an eye on Capitol Hill in our nation's capital as House and Senate members at odds over a payroll tax cut that is set to expire December 31st of this year. Today, little headway made in our nation's capital. The Republican-controlled House passed a measure calling for more negotiations on the extension to that tax cut. Senate Democrats have already passed a 2-month extension. House Republicans, though, support a 1-year extension. So now Republicans are calling for a conference committee, but the Senate already home for Christmas. We spoke with Republican Congressman Steve Womack of the 3rd District in Northwest Arkansas via Skype today.
What we're simply saying, and we're one chamber of Congress, that this is regular order, that when the House passes a bill and the Senate passes something and the two sides are in disagreement and have differences of opinion, then it typically goes to a conference. That's regular order.
Senate Democrats are opposed to the House bill primarily because of other non-related issues that were added to it, such as the controversial Keystone Pipeline, which some Democrats view as an environmental risk. Back here at home, a new culinary school at Pulaski Technical College will not be built in downtown Little Rock. Instead, it will be built on the school's south campus. Today, the Board of Trustees considered the City of Little Rock's proposal to build that school downtown in an effort to grow the city's art, district, and economy. But the board rejected their bid this afternoon, saying it's just too expensive.
Some say the governor knew about the financial fiasco leading to nearly 40 layoffs at the Forestry Commission, but kept it in the dark. Today, Forestry head John Shannon said that he had scheduled a large meeting in the summer of 2010 to discuss the Forestry Commission's budget shortfall. He admitted today the budget was in rough shape and possible tax increases needed to be discussed. But Shannon said a staff member from the governor's office told him to cancel that meeting. Matt DeCampo, spokesperson for the governor, says it's true they did ask for the meeting to be canceled, but for reasons some implied.
Was it politically motivated to cancel that meeting ahead of the 2010 election?
No. You know, again, you were in an election cycle, you're in a very political climate and a very strong anti-tax political climate. Our feeling was just that any such meeting was not going to be productive and was not going to be a good use of anyone's time because we didn't see any change in that climate.
The Forestry Commission layoffs take effect next month. Little Rock police make an arrest following a deadly shooting over the weekend. Police arrested 25-year-old Brandon West this afternoon. He's accused of killing 31-year-old Hal Johnson at La Changes nightclub early Saturday morning. West is now charged with first-degree murder.
An Izard County inmate recovering tonight after being shot by a correctional officer. It happened yesterday at the Arkansas Department of Corrections North Central facility in Calico Rock. 39-year-old Joseph Henry started charging at the officer who was on horseback and was shot in the shoulder after reportedly being repeatedly told to stop. He is expected to be okay. The correctional officer on duty tonight despite an ongoing investigation into that incident.
Now from KARK4, your weather authority, Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan.
Well, good Tuesday evening, everybody. It's already looking a lot like Christmas down at Garvin Gardens in the Hot Springs area. Beautiful light display all across the gardens there. And if you haven't had a chance to head out there, make sure you do it because it is a beautiful sight. And you know what? It's actually not even winter yet. We're going to be getting into winter as we head into the day tomorrow. And as we head into the weekend, it actually might start feeling a bit like winter. I wonder if there'll be any snow and any of those decorations out there. Right now in Little Rock, after seeing a high temperature up to 64 degrees, we're currently still at 50. That was our low for the day, also our current temperature. And so it is going to drop a little bit more. Winds are now west at 10 miles per hour. Those westerly winds ushering a slightly cooler and drier air. Right now, temperature is already down to 41 up at Fayetteville. Folks in Mena, you're at 46. The cooler air not yet arriving in northeast Arkansas. 59 degrees at Jonesboro right now. It's 46 down at Camden and currently 50 degrees in Pine Bluff. Plenty of clouds throughout the day today. We have seen a few breaks during the course of the evening hours, but I think for the most part we're going to be mostly cloudy. We have that big area of low pressure that came through with the rain last night. It's moving off to the east, but you can see that back edge of the clouds extends all the way out through Oklahoma and Kansas, and that'll be crossing Arkansas as we head through the night tonight and into the day tomorrow. Now, we're not expecting anything more than a few breaks in the clouds, and actually with the cooler air and limited sunshine tomorrow, temperatures will be running about 15 degrees colder than we saw today with that colder area of high pressure building in from the central and southern Rockies. Put our maps into motion. We'll get that storm system out of the way. High pressure drifts overhead during the day tomorrow. We'll see an increase in clouds by tomorrow night. It looks like rain will be developing as the next storm system moves across Arkansas. The best chance of rain, I think, will run from Mountain Home back toward Fort Smith and points to the south and east across the state. You folks in extreme southeastern Arkansas, down around Monticello, back to Camden, you may pick up 1 to 3 inches of rain. And then we're going to keep our eye on a storm system coming out of the Rockies for a few showers as we head into Friday and Saturday, along with much colder air behind a Canadian cold front. Tonight, though, we'll look for mostly cloudy skies down to 41, perhaps some patches of fog toward dawn in some places. 52 tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sunshine. Next 7 days, temperatures closer to normal as we head through the next couple of days. In fact, tomorrow, the actual official start of winter at 11:30 p.m. And tomorrow also the shortest day in terms of daylight of the year. And it's actually going to start feeling more like winter as we head into Christmas weekend with Christmas Day high temperatures in the 40s. And then we start a warm up as we head into next week. And of course, you can get your forecast when you're driving around for those Christmas gifts the next couple of days, 94.9 Tom FM. Now, I have been looking at some of the computer guidance. It's not all in yet. I'll talk about it at the end of the show.
Oh.
So that'll keep you hanging.
A little tease.
Cliffhanger.
That'll keep you hanging.
All right. Well, and now I want to know.
Keith, thanks
all right.
very much. We'll stick around for that.
I'm not going anywhere now.
I'm here.
A day after AT&T and T-Mobile got the thumbs down on their deal, why the Department of Justice now giving Verizon Wireless a hard look. That story in just 60 seconds.
This is KARK 4 News at 10 in high definition with Bob Clausen, Jessica Dean, Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan, and Sports with Carrie O'Hara.